Silence your cell phones now.
Welcome to the Harlem Culture Festival. Here in the heart of Harlem.
What time is it?
What's going on, YouTube? It's SC, a place to be children. Mercedes back with another movie experience here, and this time we're reviewing a documentary that just came out on Hulu a little bit of time ago. I told everybody, if you guys did not watch my live stream, that with my mother passing away, everything is behind on NC Studios, so I'm trying to catch up with everything. And this is a documentary that I really want to see. It's Questlove John, Questlove's directorial debut. It's called The Summer of Soul, or When the Revolution Could Not Be Televised. So this film right here, Questlove showed the first trailer at the Academy Awards, and I was like, okay, it's a dope trailer, and I was like, okay, we was all excited to see this because this is stuff that me and my mom would love to have watched. Okay, and it does suck I don't have her here to watch it with me, but I know when we first saw the trailer back during the Academy Awards, she was excited because this is her era. She loves this music, and I love this music. I was raised on this kind of music here, so that's the good thing about it. So in 1969, they had a Harlem Cultural Festival. They expanded. I think it said about 6 weeks, but it was like a big festival. This was like Black Woodstock, okay, to say the least. So. It's a Harlem Culture Festival that was held at Mount Morris Park, which is now Marcus Garvey Park in Harlem, and it had it was a lot of people. They said about 300,000 people. That's more than the March on Washington. Okay, so they had a lot of these people that it probably came throughout the days and stuff for this festival, and they had big names there, especially in 1969, from Stevie Wonder to Mahalia Jackson, Nina Simone, Fifth Dimension staple singers, Gladys Knight and the Pips, Sly and the Family Stone, just to name a few. That was a B.B. King. It had all these hit makers and legends and icons that was there, but for some reason this stuff was just not found. This footage was sitting in the basement for about 50 years, untouched, unpublished, until they got the rights for it and turned to a documentary. And that's shameful, man. When you have this much kind of culture impact, especially in 1969. This is just 1 year after the death of Martin Luther King. So, and the death of Robert Kennedy, and not just the name in 68, but at that time from like 65 or from Kennedy from 63 all the way down. It's just like it seemed like there was just death after death after death that impacted the black community, from JFK to Malcolm X to Medgar Evers Medgar Evers before Malcolm, but still Martin Luther King to Robert Kennedy. They just took them all out, and there was just tension, and it was just to a boiling point where you get sick and tired of this shit. And they did this festival that kind of like how James Brown did his concert after Martin King got killed. And I was sitting there watching this, and I was like, man, I know that some of my fellow Nerd Coalition members don't even know what this is, and that's sad because they didn't even take time to, this thing was just sitting in the basement and have time to bring it to light. Well, like I said, it's a documentary explaining, what the festival was. It was beautiful. First of all, it was beautiful to see all the performances, because along with the documentary, they showed the performances. Now, once again, I'm a fan of old school music. I was raised on the church seat from my dad and my mom. I have older parents. It's funny because like when Stevie Wonder was there and they showed him perform with B.B. King or Gladys Knight and the Pips, I'm sitting there talking about where's this hit? Where's this hit? I'm like, oh, wait a minute. You got to go back it's 1969, okay? We ain't hit the 70s yet. We ain't hit Jackson 5 Mania or, none of that kind of stuff like that. They even had David Ruffin on the show, and this is after he left the Temptations. I was like, okay, I had to pull myself back, but it was cool seeing old school groups like Fifth Dimension, performing on stage, and they were talking about how it was performing on stage and showing little stories. I really like when they had the staple singers. I'm a fan of staple singers and pop staples and all of them, and then they performed their songs. And then I really like Jesse Jackson got up on there, and they were talking about it's been a year just 1 year since Martin Luther King died, and then Martin Luther King's favorite song was "Precious Lord Take My Hand." And if y'all watch Selma, "Precious Lord Take My Hand," Mahalia Jackson sung that to Martin on the phone right before he about to go to Selma, and she would always sing him that song. And that was one of the last words that just said he said that he wasn't here before he got shot. So they had Mahalia Jackson to go in there performing, and she already went over to Mavis Staples, said, "I need a little help," and they took it to church, and they sat there and very beautiful moment. They should talk about the good here, because I'm just giving you a spoiler alert right now. There is no bad. I'm not going to sit here and try to nitpick this thing, because it was just good to see this footage that they had, and they had everything in there, everything from, of course, the old school R&B, and even the church. They had gospel singers and stuff up there, taking it back to church and going up on stage and doing the Holy Ghost and all that stuff like that. They had a little bit of everything for everybody. So, like I said, according to what I was researching, this thing lasted for about 6 weeks, and it felt good to see the performances. That's why I know me and my mother would have liked it, because we like to see those old school performances and see how these artists performed in their prime, and it was great to see it. And seeing Dave Ruffin up there doing "My Girl" by himself and things like that, all that stuff was just just amazing to watch. It's looked like it's been remastered, obviously, if it was made in 1969. And you got to talk to the different stars that were there, or people that were there in the audience at the time. And it sucks that me being a fan of this kind of music and me being a history buff, like, I never heard of this. I never. And once again, there's a lot of parts of history that's going to come out that we haven't heard of, and I get mad at myself for not even researching even more, or not learning more about it. And it's just like Black Woodstock here, and it was just a thing to bring people together, to just like they had the barbecues and the homemade mama's cooking out there for all the people and everything like that, and they was all up in the trees, and they was just enjoying a good show. And they actually played parts of the documentary where right at this time the United States just put man on the moon, and Gil Scott-Heron did write that poem of "Whitey on the Moon." So they was interviewing all of the white people at that time, talking about the moon landing and how it was great for us, it was great for America, and it was great that we got a man on the moon. It's great stuff for mankind. But then you interview the black people, and then you got some that's just like, yeah, I get it, but I'd rather be here at the Culture Festival. This is much better, in my opinion. We got people still hungry down here. Like that's what it was. Two different Americas, because we had people that needed so much help down here in America, and we need some people in the neighborhood, especially people of black and brown, that they were so focused on putting so much money and going to the moon instead of feeding their country. So it wasn't a big thing to the African American community or the Hispanic community that they went to the moon. They didn't care, because they still trying to survive and eat. You know what I'm saying? We don't have the wealth of this country. So I like how they did that. I like how they also, because I just watched In the Heights also, and then they had the guy who did In the Heights and Hamilton on there also, because they were talking about some Hispanic artists that was on there too, because they was on that Washington Heights on that other side in the Hispanic community also, and how they were enriched in the soul and stuff like that. I like how he touched bases on all that part. He would talk about bases about the mayor at that time of in Harlem, and how he was really for the black community, and they brought him on there and stuff like that. It's just amazing that they show all these kind of things and stuff, and it was just beautiful to watch. It really was beautiful to watch. So I'll just give you guys the experience right now. When it comes to the experience, it's really simple. I was at a 4th of July barbecue, and we decided, I was talking to it, and I mentioned to my father-in-law, like, man, I didn't know Summer of Soul came out already. Because like I said, I was so taken aback. Like, literally, May and June are a blur to me. So I was like, well, I want to watch this. And it did bring some heartbreak, because, like I said, me and my mom wanted to watch this. She's not here physically with me to watch it. I know she's here spiritually here with me to watch it, but it was good that I watched it with my family. I watched it with my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, my wife, my kids, stuff like that. So we sat there, and my sister-in-law and my brother-in-law. We was a whole big family, so I got to watch it with my family still. and it was good. It was a really good time. So when it comes to the Summer of Soul, directed by Questlove, a Questlove joint, I'm giving the Summer of Soul a complete nerdgasm. Do yourselves a favor. If you guys are a fan of history, if you guys are a fan of R&B music, if you're a fan of music, period, or if just these classic acts, make sure y'all go check out this documentary, especially us being here from Philly and Questlove. You're going to support Questlove, you know what I'm saying? But if you guys are really interested in this kind of stuff, I recommend you guys check out this documentary. It's really, really good. The performances are great, and the stories that they tell are great as well. So once again, guys, subscribe to the channel for movie experiences every single weekend as I try to catch back up to give more movie experiences every weekend for you guys. Hit the like button if you guys enjoyed my review. And once again, this is NC, a place to be. Children, Mr. A&D, and I'll see you at the movies.